Join with me today is Valley Flying, and we have a ton of things to talk about. Specifically, we're going to talk about Ebony Maw and Thanos. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, yes.
We'll get to that in a minute. We're going to talk about the...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we're going to talk...
They're about to reveal it.
Yeah.
That's where it all is.
I know, right? But we're going to talk about Black Bolt being required for Ebony Maw and the controversy there. Then we're also going to talk about Proxima Midnight. We've got some data mine information about that. And then we're also going to talk about counters to Red Skull other than Inhumans. We're just going to talk about Red Skull in general. Are you ready to smash it? Let's smash.
I'm ready to smash it, brother.
Are you ready to wipe it? We can wipe it with the toilet paper, right? I guess.
I'm clean. I don't need to wipe it again.
All right, let's go right to the data mine.
It goes raw if it goes raw if you wipe it too much.
Yeah, baby wipes. Inside the data mine, we've got some information. This is some simple text file about Proxima Midnight. It says, enter the Black Order coming soon. Proxima Midnight Commander, the controller, which I actually thought Ebony Maw was going to be the controller, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, maybe like, what is Ebony Maw going to do? I don't know. The controller for the Black Order is on the way. Proxima Midnight. Be on the lookout for the first chance to recruit her in the upcoming event campaign Into the Black Order. Slay enemies in the name of Thanos. Controller for the Black Order, which we'll talk about. Corvus Glaive always assists on a basic attack. Ultimate reduce enemy speed bar and applies slow and stun. Grants Thanos the Space Stone and speed up. And this is the good news right here. Event requirement Cosmic Hero. Start building your Black Order team with Proxima Midnight. What are your thoughts about all of this here?
All right, let's get to the first thing. Controller.
Yeah.
This was unexpected. I thought that Proxima Midnight would be some kind of a blaster or something, just because of I played Future Fight. She was a huge damage dealer, kind of a glass cannon.
Yep.
So I was expecting kind of the same thing in this game. Controller, just like you said, I was expecting that to be Ebony
something
Maw.
like Blaster and Ebony Maw to be a controller, and then Corvus Glaive maybe be a brawler or something like that. Well,
Yeah. So with the Corvus Glaive, I guess this means he would be the second Black Order, or maybe not, but obviously a lot of synergy with those two.
Mm-hmm. And then Ultimate reduces enemy speed bar and applies stun and slow. Basically in a turn-based game, speed bar and speed and slowing and stunning is probably the most important mechanic in the game. That sounds broken right there. And then...
because this is like a better version of Miles, and like Miles is special and normal Spider-Man's ultimate. So and it is a killing move, especially if this is something available on turn 1. We don't know when this is gonna be available. If this is a low cooldown move, oh my goodness. If it's a long cooldown, then normal move, but. Yeah, this could be very, very strong depending on when you could use this in battle and the cooldown, how often you could use this.
Yeah. And then grants Thanos the Space Stone and speed up, and we'll talk about what that means. And then the good news right here is event requirement Cosmic Hero. So that's going to be like a Toad release. And seems to me when they do those event campaigns, it seems like I usually get a 4-star pretty easily. I mean, what are your thoughts about those event campaigns?
Yeah, I mean, endgame players shouldn't have any problems with this. Probably auto this. Mid-game players probably get through this as well. It's newer players that are going to have a little more of a struggle with it. But usually these events aren't that hard. So. Yeah,
I've never found these events. Now, the controversy, of course, is about Thanos being reworked. And we've got the Black Order. And it said that they're going to dominate the arena. And one of the things that kind of bothers me about this, it says all 4 members of the Black Order each grant Infinity Stones for battle for Thanos Gauntlet. And then when he has all Infinity Stones, he'll become empowered, which means that this is going to be a cookie cutter team requiring Thanos and the 4 Black Order. And they're saying that it's going to dominate the arena. One of the things that I like a lot right now is that largely the arena is pretty unpredictable, and I see a lot of different team compositions, maybe a dozen or so. I mean, every team has Phoenix and Ultron, but the rest varies. It's all over the place. I mean, with star levels, I mean, sometimes you run into a 7 red star Ghost Rider. Sometimes it's Invisible Woman. Sometimes it's Black Bolt, Mr. Sinister, Yo-Yo. I'm seeing a lot, and I really enjoy that. What does this mean? This just means that we're going to have one team to rule the arena, and whoever gets the red stars wins. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
It's going to be dependent on how powerful they make Thanos, because if we saw that the space stone will give him some speed, so I'm not sure if one of these stones will just grant him some extra abilities, some extra stats. If that's the case, maybe you compare him with just Ebony Maw. He'll get some bonuses from Ebony Maw, so Thanos, Ebony Maw, and then some other characters in the arena. But if he gets this whole new kit, which this kind of alludes to, I don't know if they've worded it weird, or if he's getting this whole new set of powerful abilities. So it's like a Dark Phoenix or a Phoenix type of thing. He'll just have this crazy kit. You're not going to want to leave him off of your arena team, which means you're going to have the rest of the Black Order, so you could have this more powerful version of Thanos.
It's going to be cookie cutter, and it's going to be whoever has the red stars. I don't know how I feel about this now. They talk about the other members of the Black Order, and the one that I was not familiar with was called Obsidian, which I guess is the new name for Black Dwarf. And they're going to be released over time in the next 2 updates. Now, the controversy is this. Black Bolt and 4 other Inhumans at 5 stars. And the problem there, or the good news, is that you can use Ms. Marvel as an Inhuman. Yes. So, the ones that I think that people are going to be struggling to get are going to be 2 of the 3 between Yo-Yo, Karnak, and Crystal. And then, so this is the first time that we've got a legendary to get another legendary. What are your thoughts about this? I got to tell you, Reddit was on fire over this.
They were, and I got to say, I've been both ends of the spectrum recently. I've kind of settled in the middle, but first I was like, oh, this is so horrible. You need Black Bolt when Black Bolt is there's so much people pissed off about Black Bolt. And then I was like, you know what? This is just a game. You're going to have to do this. It's not as bad as other games. And right now, I'm kind of in the middle right now with all of this. I mean, it is what it is. It's still a game. It's not the most player-friendly for free-to-play players, but it's just a game. It's just a game. Well, I'm not super upset about it anymore.
So it's. I have a very specific thought about this. What are your thoughts? And first of all, I don't think that every player is entitled to get a legendary the first time around. I think legendaries should be readily accessible to most people that are active in this game, that have been playing the game for extended period the second time around. I really believe that. And so I'm a little bit worried that there are people not getting Black Bolt the second time around. I mean, I think this goes back to the problem with Black Bolt and the way Black Bolt was released. And even with the scarcity of Sif by putting her in the War Store kind of compounded that problem. But I've been talking to players, hardcore free-to-play blitzing players on Twitch, and they are telling me that they're going to be able to get Ebony Maw. And so I'm kind of like, well, okay, this is cool. Like, if there are some free-to-play players that are grinders and blitz are able to get this legendary character, but I don't think anybody got Black Bolt the first time around. Maybe people are getting it the second time around, and then maybe people assure me that they're gonna get Ebony Maw and they're free to play, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have any problems with this. But on the other hand, legendary on legendaries is a normal thing in the other game I play. So this doesn't. That in itself was not alarming. I'm just worried that this is going down that same path of ridiculousness that the other game has, where it's legendaries on legendaries on legendaries and requiring 13 characters at top max level and multiple legendaries on legendaries, requiring a legendary, and that legendary had required another legendary, where it's just becoming just this loop of scarcity. I mean, are you worried that the game is heading that direction, or what are your thoughts?
It could be. I mean, the good thing about this, when you compare it to the other game, we're getting this. They're talking about Ebony Maw coming out in May. Yeah, so this is big head start. I know the other game you played, they gave a legendary character like 2 days notice.
Well, they're getting better with that. This last one was months, but anyways, yeah.
All right, but the thing, I'm sure there's a lot of free to play players that are going to get Black Bolt the second time around. I'm not sure how free-to-play players are confident they're going to get the Inhumans, because I don't know how they would get enough shards for Crystal, Karnak, and Yo-Yo. Two of those three right now to get them up to 5 stars to unlock Ebony Maw. Maybe there'll be an event. Maybe there'll be a blitz. Maybe there'll be something else. But I don't know how they could be confident at this point with the Inhumans. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my calculations are wrong. But that's the question mark to me. I think a lot of free-to-play players, maybe not a lot, but there are going to be some free-to-play players that are getting Black Bolt the second time around. So they're confident that Quake, Miss Marvel, Black Bolt, but the other two, I'm not sure at this point how they could get those.
For me, this is more about Black Bolt being scarce, and Black Bolt, and like anybody that was trying to get into Dark Dimension 3 with Sif is having to make a decision. Do I focus on getting into Dark Dimension 3 or Sif? And for people that don't care about Dark Dimension, the War Store credits they're very rare. They're important, and I know. I've had people ask me, should I farm Nobu out of the War Store so I can get Phoenix? I'm like, are you out of your mind? Don't do that. Like, those are valuable. And even like Graviton, I'm not bothering. It's just like, nope, not a thing. So, but getting 5 shards-ish or more a day is actually technically faster than a hard node without refreshes. I mean, I guess you could refresh the Hella node over and over again, right? And get bunches of Hella shards, but still... but on the flip side, I hate to say this too, and I don't want to endorse spending, but I had to spend just a little bit under $200 without hardcore blitzing to get 5-star Asgardians, which is an amazing team. Hell is an amazing character. They're amazing on defense. I'm using them everywhere to get Black Bolt, which is an amazing character in the arena inside of Ultima 7 with the entire team of Inhumans, and I'm going to be able to get Ebony Maw. I'm getting a lot of value from getting a 5-star Hella. Like, plus
the money you spent on either Karnak, Crystal, or Yo-Yo.
Yeah, well, I didn't spend. Yeah, I spent a little bit on Yo-Yo, but it's just interesting that it's maybe I got sucked into it, but it seems like I got a lot of value, frankly. Like, I think one of the reasons why I had a big problem with Nobu was that there was no value in Nobu. I feel like all the characters involved so far in this process have value, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think the only 2 trash characters, I think they learned from that Phoenix release, having Hand Assassin and Nobu in that. Since then, Sinister Six has been pretty good. Asgardians have been pretty good. And then now Inhumans are pretty good. Some really great teams in there.
Yeah, beyond pretty good. I mean, Asgardians are the best. You know what I mean? Or close to the best.
You're right. I'm underselling them a little. Those are two. Asgardians and Humans, two of the top 3 teams in the game.
Trash. So, Sinister Six was mediocre. Well, maybe average, but we're talking
They're
about
okay. They're okay, but you get two teams, two characters for that one.
But between the Inhumans and the Asgardians, those are 2 top 5 teams right there, right? Easily top 5.
2 top 3 teams, arguably 2 top 3 teams.
So we're not even playing around with like, Sinister Six is good, or I don't know if Sinister. I mean, because that was always debatable whether Sinister Six was good or not. I mean, at least with Sinister Six, though, is that you can unlock 2 legendaries, which is fine.
They're not great. They're good.
Okay, briefly before we wrap up the video, I want to talk about Red Skull in Defense and War. I have screenshots.
Look at that.
I have screenshots of people attacking into Red Skull, 100K punch downs with Kree and defenders losing. Think about it. Losing. Kree, 100K, like 300,000 Kree versus 200K Red Skull, losing. 300K defenders losing against it too. I think I had 150K punch down defenders losing against Red Skull. So punch downs are important, and BKT and Symbiote Spider-Man look like they can win against Red Skull. Right now, it looks like they're just punch downs. But most people have pretty high-powered BKT teams, and they're not holding on defense. That is not a good defensive team anymore. I pulled we talked about this before the video. I actually pulled my BKT off defense and put it on offense, and I was able to punch down similar numbers to this right here against a Red Skull, and I was able to save my Inhumans for a monster Asgardians team later.
Yeah, I've had one defensive loss against a Fantastic Four that was punching down about 100K.
Really?
I don't know if that's yeah. The Fantastic Four team beat my Hydra Red Skull team.
Okay.
Now it was a very low one. They didn't have all the purples and no T4s or anything like that. So maybe that'll change once that team's built up. But it was about 100K punch down from Fantastic Four, and they managed to beat my Red Skull Hydra
It's
teams.
scary though that people that you
maybe another one.
Yeah, that you're having to take these monster teams to kill these baby Red Skulls. I mean, these 200K Red Skulls are just as scary as like a 300K pretty much anything, right? They're scary enough.
Imagine when these teams get fully built. Oh my goodness!
Well, yeah,
you're not gonna be able to punch down that much.
What if it's just Inhumans? I don't know. I'm definitely looking into putting the T4 on the Trooper and on the Trooper passive, which gives him always assist and more damage when he revives. You know, he jumps out and revives in AoEs, you know. So,
okay.
Red Skull's interesting. Like, if you haven't played against Red Skull, but, you know, be ready to not win unless you're punching down with a really good team. Not defenders, not Kree. We're talking about good teams with sustain. There's something with Minerva, something like symbiotes where they've got a lot of healing and so on. And it seems to me bleeds are important too, because bleeds get through that death proof a little bit easier. Okay.
Oh, hold on. I just want to mention, I think AoE attacks will work.
Oh, AoE, yeah.
Possibly. AoE attacks, so possibly power armor as well. So, but, you know, you're using your meta teams to punch down a lot against this team. So.
Yeah, because the death proofs really mess up things too, man. So many death proofs. Oh, my God. And you got to kill them so many times, and there's tons of minions. Okay, so guess what time it is? It's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Red Skull nose.
This is not a scam.
What do you think about that?
I love it.
Yes.
Maybe one day we'll get that Ultron nose as well.
Yeah, an Ultron nose. Maybe next week.
Dark Dimension 5.
Yeah, there you go. Red Skull. Five Red Star Ultron nose. All right, guys. Head over to Valley Flying's channel. We did a video about memes, and as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.
Woo! Gamers are cool.